Last night we told you that Simon Munro, a promising young Auckland rugby player, was one of those in the cab ride that ended with driver Janelle Sandhu allegedly being assaulted, with his turban torn from his head. A lawyer for Simon Munro says if there was an assault, the Auckland winger played no part in it. Tonight we can tell you the names of 2 other rugby players implicated in the incident. We can also tell you it's been a strange day of comings and goings, including visits to the Sandhu family by 2 National Party cabinet ministers. Why? What's going on? Mihi Forbes tries to get to the bottom of this increasingly bewildering taxi ride.
It's been a busy 24 hours since Campbell Live last called on the Sandhu family, including a late-night call from the police.
And they said, if you could come over to the police station, Auckland Central, and come and do your statement. We reached there around 11ish, and from 11 to almost 2:35 we were there. By the time I came home, it was 3:15.
Also visiting the police station today were 3 up-and-coming rugby players. Campbell Live can reveal Hamish Patterson, an Auckland B player, and James King, a North Harbour rep, are both alleged to be involved in the incident involving Indian taxi driver Janelle Sandhu at the weekend. Simon Munro, a promising young Auckland player, also gave his statement to police today. The trio and 1 other are alleged to have left in Sandhu's taxi from this Herne Bay address on Saturday night. The house is jointly owned by Ross Munro, Simon Munro's father and millionaire owner of Line 7 Clothing. Janelle Sandhu alleges he was assaulted by some of the men when they refused to pay after demanding to be dropped at Emily Place. He also claimed they made racial jibes and knocked his turban off. Munro, King and Patterson firmly deny this version of events.
Nothing has changed. No, I still believe that's what the story, the incident is.
Auckland Rugby has confirmed 2 of its players are currently involved in the police investigation, while North Harbour says 1 of its players is also involved. Today, lawyers for 3 players released the following statements.
James King denies being involved in the alleged assault, and I think that will be confirmed. My client has voluntarily been to the police station to make a statement which repeatedly denies the allegations made in the Campbell Live programme last night.
Paul Davidson QC is representing Hamish Patterson.
Mr Patterson viewed the programme which you screened last night and strongly disputes the accuracy of the allegations made by both taxi drivers as to what occurred.
Today the Sandhus have had top-level government visits. Police Minister Judith Collins was leaving the house as we arrived this evening. And earlier today, Internal Affairs Minister Richard Worth called in. Do you know Richard Worth?
I only came to know about him today. I didn't know about him, not that well-versed with the ministry with various portfolios.
How did he introduce himself?
He said, I'm the Minister for Internal Affairs.
Worth, who has been in trouble lately with his boss John Key over his business dealings, had his office ring Campbell Live this afternoon to clear up a few things. They said he visited the family in a personal capacity and denied that he introduced himself as the Minister of Internal Affairs. We asked Richard Worth if he knew any of the families of the rugby players. His office told us he had met Ross Munro several times over the last 5 years, but that was not relevant to his visit. The police say their investigation is continuing and no charges have been laid yet.